Many of you will recognize that music as the opening to Pietro Mascagni's Cavalleria rusticana, rustic chivalry, an opera that belongs to a school of composition, operatic composition, called verismo, realism, stories about ordinary people, usually extremely violent and certainly red-blooded they are. This is a one-act opera, and he won a very, very important competition with this opera in 1890. And in 1892, it came to Covent Garden, and it's been in the repertoire ever since. It's an amazing show, and I'm going to share some thoughts with you about it today. What you have to know, it takes place in a very, very small village in Sicily. And Turiddu, young man, has just come back from his soldier duty. Before he went off, he was in love with a girl named Lola. But while he was away, she got bored and married the carter Alfio. To get back at Lola, he starts up an affair with Santuzza, and this drives Lola mad, and she becomes incredibly jealous, and so she starts or restarts the affair with Turiddu. Of course, you can imagine the suffering Santuzza now, and she tells Turiddu's mother the whole story. Before he went off to be a soldier, he had Lola, and he swore eternal faith to her. Music is highly charged and extremely romantic. He came back and found out she was married. So with a new love, he wanted to extinguish the flame that was burning his heart. He loved me. This is Santuzza talking, of course. He loved me. Music is very volatile, combustible. Then the music talks about Lola's jealousy. She forgot about her husband. She was burning with jealousy. Di gelosia. She took him away from me. She took him away from me. Of course, melody, such an important ingredient in this music. I was deprived of my honor. And that's how I'm left while Lola and Turiddu are loving each other. And I cry. It's not the most subtle of music, is it? But this is the atmosphere we have when Turiddu and Santuzza meet in the square. She's burning with anguish. Very characteristic, this, using counterpoint in the low instruments. Now, Torito is a reckless fella, and the music depicts that. Listen. Tu qui, Santuzza. You're here, Santuzza. I was waiting for you. Qui t'aspettavo. But it's Easter. Why don't you go to church? E Pasqua in chiesa non vai. Not unfriendly, he is. She's very dry. I'm not going. He attempts to escape. I need to speak to you, but I was looking for my mother. Mamma, cercavo. Debbo parlarti. I need to speak to you, she says more forcefully. He says, qui no, here no. The orchestra depicts this confrontation in menacing tones. Where have you been? What do you mean? A Francofonte? To Francofonte I've been. She says, no, it's not true. Santuzza, credimi. Santuzza, believe me, Santuzza. Don't lie, she says. I saw you down by the path. Listen to this music. Listen to the accompaniment here. With little crescendos, it seethes. And that gives you an idea of what Santuzza's feeling. Upon that, she's esa mattina all'albo t'hanno scorto presso l'uscio di Lola. They saw you this morning near Lola's door. Ah, so you're spying on me, he says. Ah, mi hai spiato. No! I swear it, she says. A noi l'ha raccontato compar Alfio il marito poco fa. Alfio, Lola's husband, told us just now that you were seen. And he says to her, così ricambi l'amor che ti porto? Is that how you repay me for the love I gave you? And now the music turns into a less measured. It becomes much more combustible. Così ricambi l'amor. Do you want that he kills me? Vuoi che m'uccia? Questo non lo dire. Don't say that. Then leave me alone. Lasciami. So you love her? He says, no. Assai più bella è Lola. So she is so much more beautiful than I am. Quiet. I don't love her. Lami. Oh, damn you. Oh, maledetto santo. Then he says, that wicked woman, Femina, she took you away from me. 3 notes, now 4 notes, now 6 notes. I'm not a slave to your vain jealousy. Beat me, insult me, she says. I love you. These amazing phrases, full of passion, that build, using little gestures and sweeping gestures, repeating, finally finishing. He says the same thing again. I'm not a slave to your vain jealousy. Even more tenderly. You may beat me, insult me, but my anxiety is too much. Da Santut, beware, Santut. Finally, they sing together. It almost comes to blows when just then Lola comes in. Fior di giorno, singing a little love song, a ditty even, talking to the blossoming iris. She says, there are a million angels in the heavens, but none so handsome as you. And she walks by and she almost teases Santuzza. Gli angeli belli stanno a mille al cielo, ma bello come lui. Gli angeli belli stanno a mille in cielo, ma bello come a lui ce n'è un solo. Now very erotically. Turitto è passato Alfio. She has to sort of get herself together. She sees Santuzza's there and she feels the atmosphere that you could cut with a knife. Has Alfio passed by? She's kind of trying to make conversation here. He was just in the square. I don't know. Forse rimasto dal maniscalco. Maybe he was delayed at the blacksmith, but he won't be late. Much later. And you, are you not going to the festivities in the square? Santuzza was just telling me, and Santuzza interrupts this very awkward and uncomfortable conversation, which is much ado about nothing. She says, I was just telling him that it is Easter and that the Lord sees everything. And darkly she says this. Gli dicevo che oggi è Pasqua e il Signor vede ogni cosa. Venite alla messa. Aren't you coming to church then? Io no, ci devi andare. Santuzza reacts very, very agitatedly because she has nothing to do with the church. She has been ostracized herself, and only ones who have not sinned should go to church. Chi sa di non aver peccato. Lola brushes it off. Io ringrazio al Signore e bacio in terra. Fate bene. These two ladies like cats. One all confidence, and the other one Turiddu very uncomfortably. Let's get out of here. Andiamo, qui non abbiamo che fare. Oh no, no, stay behind, rimanete. And Santuzza says, yes, stay behind. I have to speak to you. And with a flourish, Lola leaves. Io me ne va. And we hear the tune again, played by the flute. She leaves, and all hell breaks loose. What did you say? Hai tu detto, l'hai voluto, e ben ti sta, per Dio. Now the violence of the music is palpable here. Turiddu, ascolta, va. Listen to me, Turiddu, Turiddu, ascolta. Now, one of the greatest tunes in this opera, and so tender is it. No, no, Turiddu, stay, stay, please, don't abandon me. Notice how the music has a real sweep to it, especially in places like this. And it's incredibly flexible treatment. Why are you following me, he says. Please stop spying on me. Time with in more intensity, he joins in. Again, you don't know if they're going to kill each other or if they're going to end up in each other's arms. This is interrupted. This extraordinary melody. Your Santuzza cries and implores you. How could you throw her out? Don't bother me anymore, he says. The music starts to cook again. Go! She says, no, go! Both exasperated, but they sing together. Stay, she says. It's useless, she says. No, no, no. Again, you don't know if they're going to kill each other or... But this is broken by this. La tua Santuzza, your Santuzza, cries and implores you. How could you throw her out? Va, ti ripeto, he says. Go, I repeat. Ripeto, a banda. although the whole piece is a confrontation, each end of the section is an intensification of that confrontation. Fantastic theater it is. Now a majestic version, each one fighting each other's corner. Orchestra's trembling here. I warn you, she says. He says, I don't care about your anger. And then she curses him. And this is, of course, the maledizione is so important in Italian opera. An evil Pasqua to you, an evil Easter. Spare betrayer. Music of such infinite sweetness after all that humanness, I can call it. It's so aggressive and so punchy and so alive. But something that was trying to really, really explain the ordinary man's plight. And my God, I think it does it very well, don't you think?